So we are currently down at my home beach where my brother and I came every day. This is the most powerful place that I feel him, and I couldn't think of a better place to hold a day like this. It looks like we have about 15 or so other siblings here, and the goal for today is really to just see if we can flip the switch to move forward and inspire people to find that positive light again. Your grieving process of being those thoughts of guilt, fear, sadness, pain, what I consider the negative aspects, and turning it into honoring and really living for your sibling. And that's such an empowering feeling, and it's what's allowed me to achieve things I never imagined, and it's really the only way that I can continue through this process, knowing that he's still here and I am giving back to everything he gave me. And that for me has been my step forward. So we're gonna talk, and I'd like people to open if they'd like to. We're gonna go surfing because that's what the gift that my brother gave me, and it's the healthy physical outlet that keeps my head on my shoulders and gives me some clarity as to what this whole thing is. And just hang out and be there for each other. I think this day and age, the simple statement of people helping people is seldom used. And today we're gonna use it all day. So yeah, let's start it. The reason we're all here is due to an unfortunate circumstance. And we're bonded in that way. And it's a bond that nobody expects, can predict, hopes for, but it's real. And 14 years into my sibling loss, it still hurts. I know that there are different gaps of time that have passed between people here. What matters most to me is we all have a common emotion. We have a common feeling that we probably wake up with, that we hear when we hear a song. We feel that. There's those little things that just knock you in the face and knock you off your feet. When I was 17 in high school, out of nowhere, my brother came to us and sat my family down and said he had a drug addiction, and it was heroin. And at that time, I was so focused on surfing, somehow I avoided all of the things, and I really didn't even know what that meant. 6 months later, that addiction took his life. And my whole world crumbled. Every aspect that I thought, I was moving forward to, about to graduate high school, about to jump on this dream world tour of surfing, I didn't care. I wanted to stay at home, stay in bed, not go to school. It got to a point where I didn't know what to do, so I grabbed a surfboard and I came here because that's what was familiar to me. And I'm like, this is the answer. This is how I'm gonna get him back. So I came down here to surf, I paddled out, and it was just the worst thing I've ever done. I realized that I was so close to my brother through that sport that I couldn't do it anymore. And that's where I hit rock bottom. That's where I had no outlet. I wasn't allowing anyone in my life. I wasn't talking, but I was still pretending I was okay. I was doing an event every weekend for surfing at that time, and a couple weeks later, we needed to get out of town. And this moment that I want to share is what shaped my life, and I still don't know how it happened. He was typically right next to me, coaching me, telling me what to do, and he wasn't there. But I was still doing what we loved to do. And this weight left, this feeling that I had been carrying that was just, it was so heavy and it was so dark and it was so painful. It's like I took a breath and I just felt life again. And I realized, and I found acceptance that Chris was gone. But if he was here now, what would he be doing? What would he want me to do? And that would be to put my leash on and go out and chase our dream of surfing that he pushed the whole time. And that moment when I decided to live for my brother, it's like all of a sudden I had this like secret weapon. And I had this empowerment come over me that it made me want to achieve things that I never dreamt of. That's what saved my life. Because when you lose somebody, the immediate emotions are really dark and negative, and they're hard. And that's how we start. And that is the hard, I mean, how do you start with that? And my answer, when I finally got over my stubbornness, came from talking, and it came from listening to others and allowing others who understood where I was to be there for me and allowed to move forward because I needed help. But my grief, it started off that I was just gonna do it. I had it, I was fine. And it's not realistic. And that's why we're all here sitting right now, because we realize what this is and that it's gonna be okay, but we wanna help each other. So that's why I really wanted to get the group together. And I'd really like to open it up and just meet everyone, allow you to say who you're here to honor. And then there's an option to go surfing if you'd like. It is not mandatory. The waves look really fun if you do surf. Like, this is crazy. I laughed at my brother. I'm like, he gave us swell when there was none. That's cool, because that's my background. It's the gift my brother gave me, and it's the physical outlet of my grief that gives me clarity. I just really understand that everyone's got to be pretty nervous right now and scared. At least I am. So I figure after talking, getting to know each other, a little physical aspect, we'll meet back up. And I'd like to open it up to any of you that want to share anything you'd like. And we can talk about it, you can share a memory. So it's really just kind of 3 phases today. Does that sound good? Awesome. I was thinking about the coolest way to segue out of this and let's move on with our day and not get too sunburned. And I just figured on the count of 3, we'd shout the name of our missed loved one as loud as possible so that they frickin' hear us if they haven't already. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3.